in event 8 as we close out the 2022 Rogue Invitational. Event 8 is the Snatch and Press presented by Tier.
Yeah, and this is a great workout. Again, we leaned into understanding that this is a repeat workout from 2019 Snatch and Press. 3 rounds for time, 20 dumbbell snatches, 100 pounds for these guys, and then 9 strict deficit handstand push-ups, and that's at a 4-inch deficit on parallettes, which is very different than pressing from the flat ground.
And there are 3 rounds in this 8th event. And the overall leaders will be out on the field. And Roman Krennikov and Justin Medeiros have been trading the lead here. Here are your overall standings coming into the final 3 events. Krennikov took a 60-point deficit and turned it into a 10-point lead yesterday in the Texas Oak. Justin Medeiros and Pat Vellner both struggled in that event. They are still inside the top 3, but Chandler Smith won the Texas Oak, and now he is 5 points out of a spot on the podium. Well, Justin Medeiros won event 6, but in event 5 and event 7, 2 very uncharacteristic mistakes for him.
Absolutely, and I want to see how this young man responds. We know that he has a strong mental fortitude and ability to let things go and continue to focus on what's at hand. But we could tell last night, Sean, just by watching live, that the way that he had to exit event 7 flustered him. He stayed to himself, he was quiet and calm. But now this morning, he's going to get an opportunity to really unleash all those frustrations on the snatch and press.
Noah Olson has the time to beat at 8:16.79 seconds. We have 29 reps per round, and we start with a 20 on the 100-pound dumbbell snatch. And Justin Medeiros and Roman Krennikov out front, along with Jeffrey Adler and Patrick Vellner.
And a lot like we saw with the early heat, these snatches do matter in the course of this workout, but the leader right out of the gate doesn't necessarily end up the one winning that, and we saw that as we already noticed a significant difference in touch-and-go reps being done out there.
Well, Justin Medeiros is the first man done with his first set of 20. Roman Krennikov is right behind him as Roman Krennikov advances his barbell. And now down in lane number 10 is Jason Hopper moving forward. Patrick Vellner is done. Jeffrey Adler and Ricky Garrard are also finished. Yona Koski, Chandler Smith finishing up along with Sam Kwant. So all the men moving back to the handstand push-up wall for their first set of 9 parallel deficit handstand push-ups. 4-inch deficit for the men here. And Justin Medeiros and Roman Krennikov continue to lead in this opening round, first round of 3.
And we're watching for some key things here. Of course, the athletes need to keep their feet on the wall. Look at the speed at which they redirect themselves off the pad. This is a really good hint and a precursor to the success with this movement in the latter rounds to come.
Yona Koski ripped through his handstand push-ups, and he is the first man back to the dumbbell snatches. And at the other end of the field, it's Jason Hopper working his way back to the dumbbell. So Yona Koski way out in front. Chandler Smith is now off the wall, and here comes Roman Krennikov.
Chandler Smith with a time of 8:57 back in 2019 in this exact workout.
Now Vellner, Medeiros, and Adler are all off the wall. Leaves Ricky Garrard and Sam Kwant as the only 2 men still in their first rounds of deficit handstand push-ups. So Ricky Garrard in the background to the right of Yona Koski. Struggled with those handstand push-ups at the CrossFit Games, and once again he is towards the back of the pack in an event that is forcing him to get inverted.
And I'll tell you one of the frustrating things, which I have experienced as an athlete throughout my competitive CrossFit career, is that when you struggle with inverted pressing, Sean, and it's your body weight, it is a unique skill that can't just be built by bench pressing, strict pressing, and doing all these different variations. You've got to get better at the movement itself. So it takes time and it takes reps.
Yona Koski has 2 remaining before he will go back for his second round of deficit handstand push-ups. There is Jason Hopper, who sits in second place. Roman Krennikov, though, creeping up. Justin Medeiros right now is in 4th in the heat. time to beat, upper right-hand part of your screen. That belongs to Noah Olson, who just edged out Scott Tetlow in that tight finish by 3/100ths of a second. Koski going back to the handstand push-up wall, as is Roman Krennikov. And now Jason Hopper as well. Sam Kwan has just finished his first round. And Medeiros and Chandler Smith are finished.
Again, we can see Yona in the distance there, just looking very smooth, not allowing his reps to slow down before he kicks down, very composed.
Smith and Medeiros kicking up. And there is Yona Koski. He and Jason Hopper fighting for first place here, and the two of them are done. Koski's going to jog back to the dumbbell. Hopper saw it, and he picked up his pace a little bit. Ricky Garrard has just finished his second round of dumbbell snatches as Koski and Hopper get started on their third and final set of 20.
And I'm going to tell you the beauty of watching these two guys go head-to-head is that we've got an athlete that weighs 190 pounds on one end. We've got an athlete that weighs 220 pounds on the other. And then here comes a 230-pound athlete in Roman Krennikov right down the center. And we're watching this beautiful combination of external loading and body weight go head-to-head.
Roman Krennikov and Chandler Smith are back to the dumbbell, but Roman Krennikov has been slowing down on those handstand push-ups. Yona Koski right now is ahead of Noah Olson's pace. 8:16.79 was Olson's top time. Jeffrey Adler is coming back, as is Pat Vellner. Medeiros right behind him, and Bjorvin Karl Gumundsson. Joining the men on their third and final round of dumbbell snatches. There is Roman Krennikov, your overall leader, by 10 points over Justin Medeiros, and right now he's getting the help he needs to widen that lead. But remember, Krennikov has been slowing on those deficit handstand push-ups. There goes Jason Hopper, who has moved ahead of Yona Koski. Koski has 4 reps remaining on the dumbbell. And Roman Krennikov is in third place with Chandler Smith. Justin Medeiros is trying to get in that fight for a spot inside the top 4. There goes Yona Koski as Jason Hopper
down to 4.
Has a few reps remaining. 2 left for Hopper. There's Yona Koski. Jason Hopper is getting set to close out his set. Hopper is done.
Wow.
And Jason Hopper can take a leisurely stroll across the finish line, and he's going to pick up his second event win of the competition.
Go get it, big fella. Listen, I'll tell you, he is not the athlete that I would have coined to win this event, and what a great job of execution by Hopper.
6:56.23 seconds. Justin Medeiros is back to the handstand push-up wall. Yona Koski has 2 reps left. Koski with now 1 rep remaining. He's through 86 of the 87 total repetitions. Noah Olson is waiting to see if his time will stand, and it will not. Here comes Yona Koski. He's going to take second place in the heat, second place in the event, as he clocks a time of 7:46.01 seconds. Chandler Smith is off the wall. Smith will take third place in this event and pick up 90 points.
Chandler Smith trending in the right direction with momentum. We know that he is fighting for a position on that podium. And Sean, he did this workout in 8:57 in 2019. Look at that improvement to a 7:55.
And he has a chance, does Chandler Smith, to pass Pat Vellner, and that's going to happen now as Jeffrey Adler is across. Smith came in just trailing Vellner by 5 points, and now Krennikov is starting to fail some reps, and that could be big for Justin Medeiros. Medeiros only has 2 left. He's on the left side of your screen. 1 remaining for Medeiros as he looks to carve into Krennikov's lead, and he will do that. Justin Medeiros sprinting across the finish line. Vellner is off next. So Vellner is in. So now Justin Medeiros will at least be tied with Roman Krennikov. Bjorn Gudmundsson and Krennikov are in a foot race. Krennikov has got to win this, and Gudmundsson's going to beat him, and that is going to help Justin Medeiros. So once again, it looks like the overall lead is going to change. There are 5 points awarded, 5 fewer points awarded for every spot you go down in their event results. And if Krennikov had gotten in ahead of Gudmundsson, he only would have surrendered 10 points to Medeiros. But with Gudmundsson getting in there ahead of him, it looks like he's going to surrender 15. This is unofficial, but that means that Medeiros, if that is the case, will be your leader by 5 points. But we still have times from heat number 1 that could factor in.
This is one of the most difficult parts about our sport, is that as an athlete, you're out there, you've got ups, you've got downs. What really matters is the outcome after 10 scores are input, because we're testing for the fittest that are here. And it's so easy to get caught up in if I'm leading or if I'm trailing. Be patient, continue to get every point that's available to you in each event, and it's going to play out well if you can, stay the course.
Again, the deficit will be at least 5, but it does depend on what happened in heat number 1. If there's any times that got in there between Gudmundsson and Krennikov, now, or even Krennikov and Medeiros. Well, Ricky Garrard is continuing to have problems on these deficit handstand push-ups, and he is in danger of getting time capped here.
Yeah, and this is hard. Anybody that's viewing this and watching this from home, you understand when you're doing a strict movement, particularly handstand push-ups, when you hit the wall, you can do nothing but wait. You feel helpless, you feel frustrated. You want this moment to change, as we watch Quant still execute these singles on the dumbbell snatch. But there's not much you can do.
Garrard just trying, his feet came off the wall. You just saw it wobble a little bit there at the top. And there is no more costly no rep than a deficit handstand push-up.
Yeah, it's up there towards the top of the list. The only one I could think of might be a strict rope climb.
There's another one, yep. That's true.
We've watched that one eat some athletes alive, but this is truly one, Sean, where if I have to coach an athlete, if I'm out there myself, what I'm going to always say is you run this race a touch too slow to start every time versus coming out too hot, because there's no turning back once you hit the wall.
Ricky Garrard, who looked like he was getting back on track after some rough finishes in events. He had 4 straight of 10th or lower, but last night in the Texas Oak, he took 3rd. And he's unable to carry that momentum into event number 8. Jason Hopper, who started the competition with an event win, gets another one in snatch and press, presented by Tier. And he will pick up 100 points and looks to get closer to a spot inside the top 5 as a result.
And we've got Hopper here executing these handstand push-ups. So I want you to notice how he turns his head so his gaze is almost towards the ground. This helps him actually purchase more of his chest, his pec minor, to help him, his shoulders and triceps press his body upward. It's a great way to maneuver his body for success, which he had. But then here's our big race here. Look at Justin Medeiros fighting for every 10th and 100th of a second as he can, as he all-out sprints across the finish line. He knows that all these points matter.
And this could be what gives Medeiros the overall lead after this event. Bjorn Gudmundsson getting in ahead of Roman Krennikov, because remember, Jeffrey Adler got in ahead of Krennikov as well. Jason Hopper with the event win, the only man to go sub-7, 6:56.23 seconds. Yona Koski